Hello, hello, hello. Woo! I don't know if the claps for finally somebody talking here or because it's been great and it's over. So, well, thank you so much for being here. I am super excited. My face may not show it, but welcome to the closing ceremonies for ETHWaterloo. I'm Kartik. I'm on the ETHGlobal team here, and we are here. So I wanted to kind of move things fast. We talked about how ETHGlobal has been for us in 2019, and I wanted to share some stats about ETHWaterloo specifically. We had over 800 people apply to attend these hackathons, out of which we had a little bit over 250 people get accepted and stake, and we had a lot of walk-ins, and this is the number of total attendees that have hacked here this weekend. And the way we kind of measure our success is we actually categorize the experience levels for all the attendees. And we kind of try to track how many of the attendees are new to the Ethereum versus kind of how they're advancing and progressing on how they quantify their own skill sets. This has been an interesting mix where almost half and half have been new to the Ethereum, relatively new. And I want to give a special shout out to the 22% of these attendees who had never done anything on the Web3 world until this Friday. So congratulations, you did it. We had 65 projects submit this weekend. This officially makes it over 1,000 projects submitted total over the last 14 events in ETHGlobal, and I'm so happy that we've kind of hit that mark. And our judges did the hard job here of why are you getting reactions? Our judges kind of talked to every team, and if you were part of the judging process or as a team, everybody presented to two different set of judges, and they kind of combined their scores and we normalized to get these 5 top finalists for ETHWaterloo. So congratulations to Sheetcoin, ETH VoIP, DC Wallet, Wallet Notify, and Connection. All of you, I suppose, are in this room already. If you are one of these teams, just raise your hand. Just want to make sure I have a visual reference. That's just perfect. We're going to go in this order. We'll have Sheetcoin up in a second, and then ETH VoIP after Sheetcoin. Please line up. I realize what I'm saying. Please come on that corner to just kind of be ready for your demo as the next team moves along. And just to kick this off, please welcome Sheetcoin.
All right, thank you guys for coming. My name is Sunny. I'm a core developer at Cosmos and also professional crypto troll.
I'm Brent. I work on strategy at Cosmos Tendermint.
Howdy, my name is Billy. I'm the founder of Clover's Network. Can I get some screen up here? I don't know who's in charge of that. I plugged in, some things flashed. Any help? Cricket. Oh, okay, cool. I think I know what to do. You want to start them off?
All right, so, wait, you good? Yep. All right, can you mirror it? You're not going to be able to do it like this.
Oh, yeah, true.
All right, can you give us like 2 minutes while we fix technical?
Building a better Ethereum. You can talk about it.
All right, okay. All right, so, Facebook is going on right now, like trying to, take control of the entire blockchain space with like Libra and whatnot. And so we've thought that, the best thing to do is fight fire with fire. So our goal is to help Google take over the entire blockchain space. And to do this, what we've done is we've built Google Sheets as a sidechain to Ethereum, a trust minimized or trust mediumized sidechain to Ethereum. And, Udi's been talking about this for a while, and so we decided to make it a reality. And, it sounds funny, but, I think this actually is a huge UX, piece that, we can do a lot of cool stuff with it, which we'll walk through today. So Billy can start off the demo.
How's that? No. Third try. All right. So here we are, beautiful Google Sheets. At the very top, you can see we have this beautiful new addition, the Sheetcoin. So let's start this thing off by moving some coins onto the sidechain from Ethereum. We're going to deposit. How many should we deposit? I don't know, maybe 4. Okay. What's going to happen here? I'm going to send it to somebody. I'm going to send it to myself. And look at that, I'm using their email address because normal people have email addresses. Let's make that happen. We're going to open up a page. Here we have a traditional Web3 because I'm moving stuff from Ethereum, which means I already have some stuff on Ethereum. That's right, I'm going to move 4. Try to make this happen a little faster. And confirm. Cue the music.
All right, great. As we're waiting for the deposit, so we're looking at this project. We've seen things like this in the past. Burner Wallet, was implemented on a POA network sidechain. This is using Google as a sidechain. Basically, there's over a billion users with Gmail accounts, and these Gmail users can essentially access the blockchain via these Sheetcoin tokens.
So now that I have some sheet coins here, why don't I send them to somebody else? How about myself on another email address? I love having so many Google accounts. Is that right? Yeah. All right. So you'll see that that person doesn't exist. Yeah, we're going to make them. I'm going to send them, how many do I have? 4. I'm going to send them 3. Okay. So we're going to sign this transaction, and this is where the magic happens. This is actually Google signing this for you. So Google is pretty good at keeping things secret, holding on to keys. They're also pretty good at allowing you to own things when you want them to. So we actually shove in some of this metadata into a nonce when they sign on your login. Usually they just try to sign a nonce to prevent replay, but we actually have them sign our intentions as if they really were handling our private key and signing transactions for us. Once that happens, it goes through, we verify it, and we're allowed to update this balance. We're now Billy at Tinderman has 3, Billy Rennekamp has 1. That was very fast.
It's like a normal Google Sheet where you can just go edit it. Billy can't just go in and just start messing stuff around. All the transactions are verified using proper signatures and everything.
These are all locked. You can see like a proper blockchain. We have accountability. We have all of our transactions.
Blockchain, of course.
And now let's think about withdrawing. So I'm here. I want to take my 3 out. I'm going to withdraw my coins. All 3 of them. I'm even going to withdraw them to an ENS name. Will you hold that?
And so it'll go ahead, and once again, you sign it with OAuth again. And then what we do here is we sign it as well from our server saying that, or not our server, the sheet has a private key environment variable in it, and it signs using that and kind of verify, it acts as a trust, like an oracle here. But the key is we don't want to be able to steal people's money, and so what we do is on the Ethereum side, we also verify that the user did make a request to withdraw those funds. So we actually verify the OAuth signatures on Ethereum. So these are RSA encoded. It's expensive, but people love Sheetcoin so much, they're not going to withdraw that often anyways.
Here you can see the transaction is pending. It's outgoing. We're going to say, yeah, we want to actually submit it to the Ethereum blockchain. If something were to mess up here, you could go back. Somebody else could submit it on your behalf, or you could try it again. This contains all the parameters necessary. Finally, we can go back into our Web3 Connect and make this thing happen. Thank God my Ethereum balance is 0, but I'm going to hopefully increase it by withdrawing these 3 onto mainnet. Just kidding, this is Rinkeby. Confirm. Be a little bit faster, hopefully. Another drum roll. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
Yeah, and like I said, so it verifies the OAuth on chain, and you have coins back on Ethereum. And what we've done is this is actually an open API, so the wallet that we've built into the Google Sheets view is just one wallet, but we actually built a second web wallet. So anyone can build a wallet as long as they import the Google APIs for Google Authenticator. You can make your own wallets for this. And let's see, what else? And yeah, what's the future? Right now it's for a single token, so one sheet is for one token. I think we can do more and more tokens on one chain, maybe on different tabs, so we essentially have like full sharding going on right there. And the other nice thing another next step would be native Sheetcoin. So currently, all the Sheetcoin has to originate as an ERC20 on Ethereum and come into Sheetcoin. It'll be nice if we can have native Sheetcoins. So for example, a cap table, right? It can exist natively on a Google Sheet, but then you can take your shares onto Ethereum and trade it on Uniswap and then bring it back onto the cap table. So, yeah.
That's it. Thanks very much.
That was awesome. Next up, I'd like to get ETH P2P VoIP on stage, and I'll have DC Wallet over there on deck. Please welcome ETH P2P VoIP.
I need the other cable. You guys don't have another.
Do you have this one? No, that's still HDMI.
I mean, you don't have an HDMI?
We're having some cable difficulties, so give us about 30 seconds. Somebody from the AV room, we're trying to get an HDMI connector. If you can have that for this, that'd be great. Never mind, I just figured out what's going on. We're all set.
All right, what's going on? Cool. Hi, my name's Ethan, and I made ETH P2P VoIP, or as my friend called it, ETH Phone Home. So the inspiration is that I hate getting spam called, and one second, I want to make sure I don't, okay. I hate getting spam called, and I wanted to put a barrier between myself and the caller and have the caller pay a price that I define. So I wanted to create an incentive for me to pick up, because otherwise I just get a bunch of calls and I can possibly get scammed. I think it's a terrible idea that phone numbers are a source of identity, so why not use another form of identity such as the Ethereum address? I wanted to get rid of providers that sell your number, your data, etc. I wanted to get rid of SIM swapping, and I wanted to see if I could make phone calls using an Ethereum address. And I wanted to put, at the end of the day, more control into the receiver's hands. So to give an example of how easy this is to flood somebody, I'm going to flood my own phone. Please don't call me. I know my phone number is on the screen. But right now, I'm just going to call myself, and I can just keep calling myself over and over and over again. And I can do this with anybody, any phone number, and it's really annoying. And so at the end of the day, this costs less than $20, right? It takes me like 20 bucks to like fill the account, and then it takes cents on those $20 to like make these calls and continue to do this. So ETH P2P VoIP effectively allows you to call an Ethereum address. Now, let me explain how this works. There's a few rules that exist here. So everybody is blocked by default, all right? That means that all users have a default price that they pay when they enter, which is everybody from the start, since it's a hash that has everything. That's 2 to the power of 256 minus 1. So that number is 1.15 times 10 to the 77th, which you probably don't have. So everybody's blocked by default, and user A defines a price for a token they are willing to accept for. So that can be TCAD, that can be WETH, that can be DAI, it can be anything. And I set that price. Then there's a call list. So that call list allows to define who can call you for free. So if user B calls user A and user B is not on user A's list, they pay user A's token price. If user B calls user A and user B is on user A's token list, then it's free. That call is free, excluding gas. And at the end of the day, if I have user A miss a call, then the amount that otherwise would have been given to user A is actually refundable or actually able to be withdrawn by user B. So you can think of it as like a phone booth. You put in the money, you make the call, but nobody picks up, you get your money back. Okay, so let me demo what this looks like. One thing to keep in mind, you're going to see two things here. The first thing is that the test is going to show what it's like to call somebody that you otherwise don't have access to call, as in they haven't defined their price, meaning it's max. The other thing is you're going to see me calling myself because I did not figure out how to change and then like accept a call for myself on the same machine. It was really weird. So I'm just calling myself. So when I do connect, my machine will bug out and like scream. So I apologize for that. But here we go. So another thing to note here as we're waiting for this is that the actual VoIP server is decentralized. It's P2P, effectively. Like, I contact you directly. I don't use Twilio. I could have used Twilio and rotated the numbers, but I did not. I kind of went the extra mile and just decided to use this peer-to-peer service. So here we'll see that I try to call an address, and that output is to show that that's the max amount that I have to pay of TCAD in order to do that. So the test passed by showing that I performed an invalid call and I wasn't able to actually call. Here it's actually calling. Let's see. Oh, looks like I won't be able to show you the voice. Maybe if I, okay. Well, as this is happening, the account actually, the contract actually acts as an escrow. So you'll see right here there's a balance of 100 that's in TCAD, and after it's answered, then what will happen is that I will withdraw that amount. So this should actually go back down if it's been there you go. So the escrow is the registry contract, the funds are put in, then they are pulled out. I would like to unplug this and actually like show that it did do a call, because otherwise you're kind of just looking at a terminal. So I apologize, but let's see what happens. Let's see. Is this? Okay. Yep. So that's the thing. So I only have a few things left here, which is that I kind of like this project. I'm not really sure like where I want to go with it, but there are some other things that might be interesting to think about here, which is that I could choose a better encrypted VoIP service, which means that like right now it's just like something that I like got kind of modified and used, which means that you could do like browser calling. You could put in a MetaMask snap and effectively call somebody through MetaMask. And I'd also like to build out like a utility that right now it's just a contract. It's been abstracted away. But to do all that through a utility on like the front end that facilitates that would be great. It'd be cool to have some better mechanism to determine when a call ends. So for example, to have the actual app be the oracle that determines that if a call was or was not taken, that would be really useful. And then also, the thing that I think is probably the most compelling is creating a dynamic pricing scheme. So that if you're popular, like Vitalik, and you get a lot of phone calls or something, like that price just goes up. And then, if you're not, then it goes down and it changes dynamically. Anyways, that's ETH Phone Home, ETH P2P VoIP. Thanks.
Can't wait for surge pricing on my phone calls. It's great. Next up, we'll have DC Wallet, and I'll have Wallet Notify be on deck. Please welcome DC Wallet.
Who else had a nap with their eyes open today? Okay, for our project, what we tried to do is we tried to take all the amazing things you can do with smart contract wallets in the back end, and the new technology that came out with MetaMask with the Snaps plugins, and we tried to connect those things together. Microphone. Oh, you can hear me? Oh, sorry. Do you guys hear what I said before? Yeah, okay, good. So essentially for the user, the experience is that it looks like MetaMask, like you're just interacting with the account like you would normally. But in the back end, because you're dealing with a smart contract, you can do all these amazing things. So one of the use cases we wanted to show today is what happens when you die? What happens to your crypto? And it's a difficult problem to solve. So we're trying to deal with that custody problem in this particular use case. With the plugins and with the smart contract wallets at the back end, the possibilities are amazing, but we'll show you this use case and a couple other things.
All right. I'm gonna just go over and show you how it works actually. So you can think of this page as kind of configuration page. It's not a dApp, it's like config page for your MetaMask plugin. So you connect regular way to MetaMask, then the plugin is going to ask for permissions. we grant those permissions, and then we click create. And what is happening right now, we are actually creating a custom account inside MetaMask. Then we are deploying a smart contract wallet on the blockchain, and we are using the address to set that account inside MetaMask. And as an addition, we are also adding 2 tokens for convenience of the user, which is USDC and TCAD. All right, so now you can go to MetaMask and you open your wallet and you see DC wallet. So this is actually a smart contract, but you can use it the same way as any other account. So from the user perspective, there's literally no difference, except we have to adjust gas. But other than that, it's literally the same thing. And the nice thing about it is also that this smart contract, it's actually supporting generic transactions. So basically, it doesn't really matter if we are sending Ether, if we are sending USDC, if this is just a transfer, or this is a compound and I'm just making an investment and getting CUSDC back. It really doesn't matter. It's all working the same way. So I want to show you one of the things that we chose to add to the smart contract wallet, which is recovery. So I'm going to put my default account address, and I'm going to put 120. So what I'm doing right now, I'm sending transaction to my smart contract that is saying, if I don't do anything during next 120 seconds, send all my assets from my wallet to this address that I just gave you. And the only way to postpone this is click I'm alive, which resets the clock. Well, obviously, no user is going to do it because they're probably going to forget about this page after the first setup. So basically, you just can use your wallet normally, like everyday use. You do transfer, you do ERC20, you can go to your dApp, you can go to your decentralized exchange, and basically every single time that you do any action whatsoever, you send any transaction, this clock is going to reset. Did it reset? Oh, no, it didn't, because I didn't send from the right account. Okay, so let's try again. 0.1. Okay, now I'm using DC wallet, so that should work. At the moment of truth, yes. Okay. All right. So, and the last thing that I want to show you is what happens if actually we hit the limit. What happens if we put like only 16 seconds, so we don't have to wait too long. And we go to the wallet. We go to DC wallet. We have ETH. We have USDC. And 1, 0. Okay, we got tokens. We got USDC. We got, actually, we didn't have any TCAD, so that was before. So you go to DC wallet. It's 0. This is 0. And if you actually noticed, this set recovery address button is sending a transaction to the blockchain, but there was no confirmation. And we can do that because each MetaMask plugin is given its own private key that can manage all those smart contract accounts from the inside. So basically, we don't really have to ask a user for any permissions or any confirmations. It just works. Obvious thing that we could add here, probably some of you noticed that we are pre-funding the wallet, and we are also pre-funding with Ether, and we are pre-funding with the ERC20 tokens. So what happens inside is that every transaction is actually sent by this internal private key that is an owner to the DC wallet. And this private key actually needs to hold some kind of Ethereum to be able to send those transactions. So what could be done very easily is support of meta transactions, that from that moment the DC wallet would be able to pay for himself, and at this point you could use this wallet as any other Ethereum account. So that's all from me. Anything to add? All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Next up, we have Wallet Notify. Please welcome Wallet Notify on stage.
Hi. My name is Roman. This is Rustam, Igor, and Amsel. Wait for us to set it up. And we made a way to send rich text push notifications to Ethereum addresses. So all right, cool. So the notifications are pretty ubiquitous. It's hard to imagine how to live without them. But just some of the use cases are DeFi. So when you're about to be liquidated, it's nice to get a push notification. And a lot of the times, the only thing that the dApp has is your wallet address. ENS could send you a push when your domain is about to expire. All kinds of DAOs have these fixed voting periods where you need to show up and vote. And actually, there is like a fourth bullet here. It could be used in upgradability. So before your whatever dApp that you're using gets updated, you can get a push so that you can get out if you don't like the update. Yeah, the implementation is pretty simple, actually. All we do is we wrap all the data we need to render the notification, and we put it in the transaction data, and then we send that transaction to the wallet of the recipient. And as long as everyone does it in the same format, wallets can identify those types of transactions and treat them as notifications and show them in a different way, give you like a batch count, or in case of trust, they could like send you an actual push notification. And in general, wallets usually have some kind of way to reach you, and they can isolate your PII from everyone else. So for this hackathon, we built 4 things. We made a draft for the standard, just so that everyone kind of formats the data of the transaction the same way. We made an NPM package that does exactly that, so that you don't have to go through the standard. And we build a front end that uses the NPM package to craft those notifications and set them to the to wallets. And then we made a fork of MetaMask, and we changed the way it displays transactions that are the notifications. And we'll show you a demo with like the front end and the MetaMask. So hold on for a bit. These are like 2 different browsers. One of them is Brave and the other one is Chrome. So we have 2 different instances of MetaMask. And the one on the left is a MetaMask fork. So this is just kind of like a GUI that lets you craft a notification. And you can set your address of the recipient, which we'll select from the other window. set the text, set the text message that's the only required field. You can set like the thumbnail for your notification, think of it as a logo, and you can set like a click action. So whenever somebody clicks notification, it either opens the URL, or you can put things like Ethereum address, amount, and call data so that you can craft a transaction whenever somebody clicks notification. So for example, you can get a request to extend your ENS domain, and then when you click notification, the transaction screen slides out and you're done in one click. So let's try sending it. And
so within this transaction, it's a 0 ETH transaction, but inside the data, the payload is formatted in the way that wallets will recognize. So I'm going to go ahead and send this transaction, and you can see that it's pending over here. And once this is confirmed, it should show up over here on the left side, and this is our forked version of MetaMask, which recognizes those notifications, rather those transactions as notifications, and handles them differently. So while we wait for that, we would have hoped for this to have been sufficient inside the MetaMask plugin API, but it wouldn't necessarily work with the functionality that's been exposed right now. So we just went ahead and forked it, and hopefully this shows up soon. Okay, so the transaction is confirmed, and it's on Etherscan. Has the data. It's not here yet. All right, there it is. Yep. So this is the message that's embedded in the input data. This link is the one that we set the action to, and as Roman mentioned, this action could actually trigger other things other than just opening a URL. Like it could initiate a transaction with a preset properties of like payment amount and address to send to and things like that. And yeah.
Yeah, sure. So like the next things that we can add to this, like in this shape and form, I think this is going to be already pretty useful for a lot of use cases. But on top of that, we could add relatively easily message encryption, because we know the address of the recipient and we can get a public key out of it as long as there were some transactions there. And encrypted, we could send unencrypted transactions to multi-sig wallets, no problem. But with encrypted transactions, with encrypted notifications, it's tricky because there's no key, and there needs to be a way figured out for that to work. And also, I think like the killer way to use it would be to integrate with something like a Trust wallet or some kind of app that has access to your actual APN that can send you like iOS and Android push notifications. So like this way, you send notification to Ethereum address, and the person receives it as a push notification from their wallet on the phone. And
Like we want to make an EIP out of it, or yours.
oh yeah, and this is all gonna work only as long as people agree on the format. So we started an ERC, and we hope you guys go check it out and comment, and we can agree on the way we format things. And then, yeah, just go there, Wallet Notify. We have Telegram channel set up, and join the conversation. Thank you.
And our final demo for the weekend. Please welcome Connection on stage.
Switch midway through?
Yeah, you can. That will just be.
Ta-da. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Hello? Oh, okay.
All right. Hi, guys. We'll keep it short. We basically, they basically did the pitch for us. We're basically enabling communication to smart contract addresses as well as ENS through our platform in a decentralized way.
Yeah, so the use cases would be the same. We just implemented it in a different way. So our thing, likewise, is built around a MetaMask plugin, which we prompt the user to install before they can use our service. So we're all familiar with this step. I actually messed up my password. Give it the necessary permissions, log in. And all I would have to do to send a message is put in an ENS or put in, just your regular address. So let me do that. And all I would have to do is hit send. Once again, MetaMask pops up, and there it goes. So it should pop up in Darcy's MetaMask, and it would appear right in the native MetaMask UI. So hopefully she gets her screen up before the transaction actually gets mined, so we can see it popping up. Here we go. Uh-oh. Is that the right one? Okay, yeah, and the way we are listening for these transactions and showing them is with Defuse. Oh, okay, it popped up just in time. So what Defuse is doing is alerting us of all the events that the contract is emitting, and we pipe the relevant ones to her client. So this website and the MetaMask plugin. So if you could just click on the message. Ta-da, there was my message. Easy as that.
Awesome. So I'm going to demonstrate our other feature, which is actually called Broadcast. So Broadcast works in a similar way to messaging, except this way people can subscribe to your ENS or to your address, and whenever you send a broadcast, anyone who's subscribed to you will receive that message. So Ryan here is subscribed to me, so I'm just going to send a message to my friends. It's okay. And then Ryan should receive it. And so actually, after we resolve the ENS, we take the sender address, the recipient address, and the message, and then send it to IPFS to be hashed. Once that returns, we then send it to the smart contract to push it to the blockchain. So yeah, we're still waiting for the broadcast to be sent.
Cool.
Perfect, there it is. And shows up just like a message.
Cool. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our tech stack and how exactly this works. So obviously we use IPFS for storage. We use Defuse for streaming events from the smart contract. We use MetaMask plugin as the core. Also, we sort of hacked around, like we didn't fork MetaMask like those guys. So we sort of hacked around your asset list. So this is the place you'd usually see your ERC20 tokens. So we kind of made a message token. It's sort of hacky, but every single message you get is a new token, and it has a URL attached to it that you can just click on, and it'll go to our website with a hash parameter in the URL that allows it to resolve from IPFS. Challenges are also quite similar. Like, we haven't done encryption yet because MetaMask plugins, well, we can't access their private key directly. The user would have to enter it manually to decrypt it, and that's kind of bad UX, so we just skipped it over right now. And lastly, I guess, like, huge shout out to Dan from MetaMask. I don't know if you're here right now, but thank you a lot. Like, he was up with us till like 5 in the morning, helping us get this work, this thing. Yeah,
I also want to give a huge shout out to Chickpea Curry for literally powering the creation of this hack. So, yeah, without them, it wouldn't be possible.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Yeah.
Please give Connection and all 5 of our finalists a big round of applause. Woo! Right. one of the most interesting things I just realized is that, actually, first of all, those were only the 5 finalist projects. There's 60 more that were made this weekend, and I highly encourage you to check those out at ETHWaterloo2.devpost.com. Obviously, we couldn't show all of them on stage here, but it's incredible that we're seeing all these cool, amazing sort of problems being solved. And kind of the most obvious thing I just realized was that I would say like all of these things are forcing us to make things ready for millions of people to come in. And that's just incredible to see here this weekend. So congratulations again to all 5 of the winners. And we'll move on to the next part. So those were some of our finalists. What I want to do now is that a lot of teams and a lot of you guys apply to a lot of the sponsor projects. So I'm going to have some of the sponsors come up on stage and talk about who won and those prizes. So what I'll do is all the sponsors, you know who that you're coming up, just come onto this side all together, and we'll kind of just swap mics every now and then, or after every other person. We'll grab this one as well, and I'll start this off with Sean from Fortmatic. Please welcome Sean on stage.
Yeah, I wish we had enough money so we can fund a lot of awesome projects. But it was really tough picking the top 3. So we made a last minute change to pick 4 of them and then kind of adjusted our bounty. So yeah, the grand prize winner is 2,500 Canadian dollars in DAI. And that goes to Nia. He's an absolute beast, soloed the entire project. He was very patient with us, iterated with us on improving a lot of our bugs. And he actually depicted the perfect story from earning crypto, getting users into the ecosystem, and actually integrated Fortmatic into the Gnosis safe, providing like a smart contract wallet. And also connect that to the entire DeFi ecosystem, and even added 3-box identity. So that's a really good vision to what, yeah, it's connected all the dots. And yeah, the second prize, originally we were gonna give 250, but we're bumping this one to 500 Canadian dollars in DAI. And this prize goes to DeFi DY. For like a beautiful and clean design, synthetic tokens bonded with performance of different DeFi protocols like Compound, using Fortmatic and UMA. Thank you very much for that. It's super amazing, super polished. And third, we have Bounty Up. We have 250 Canadian dollars in DAI. Really cool incentive alignment for bounties by using our DAI. So they can earn interest on the bounties and take no fees as a form of revenue. And lastly, I was super inspired by this one. It's a bunch of high school students, and they were really passionate and really understood implications of crypto. So they created Block Talk. So we'll be giving out 250 Canadian in DAI for them. They just blew away with how much code they've written to interact with IPFS to store the chat messages. All right, thank you so much for that.
Thanks, Sean. Sam from Thunder had to leave to catch his flight, so we'll contact the team over email. Next up, we have Gabrielle from Consensus.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gabrielle from Consensus Grants. So first of all, that is our QR code up there. I encourage everyone to check out more information about Consensus Grants. We are now in Wave 3, accepting applications now. And I would encourage you to all apply, as we are now reviewing applications on a rolling basis. So if you apply now, your application we will review it right away. So we are awarding 1,000 DAI prize this weekend for ETHWaterloo under one of our 5 grant categories. First of all, we want to give just an honorable mention to Sheetcoin. We all saw the future with that work, so congratulations to them. And I am very happy to announce that our prize this weekend goes to Connection. we're all about onboarding new people into the ecosystem. So it was great to see that hack and also welcome new people into the space. So thank you all.
Thank you. Next up, we have Hart from UMA.
Hey guys, Hart from UMA. I'll keep this really quick. We had a bunch of amazing projects building synthetic tokens on our infrastructure. We had a few prizes out there. One prize we want to give is to the DeFi DY team, which built a synthetic token that lets you bet on the popularity or the total value locked on DeFi Pulse projects. So you can actually buy a token that tracks the usage of Compound. And we think this is like a really cool idea where now, Compound doesn't have a native token, but you can actually invest in the usage of the Compound protocol and make an investment on whether you think that's going to go up or down. And that can be extended to all these other protocols on DeFi Pulse or related fields. So we think that's really cool. That's a $1,000 or 1,000 DAI prize to that team. Separately, we had a joint prize with 0x on just the most interesting project using our synthetic tokens and 0x infrastructure to build a marketplace. And the Moi options team built a really amazing options market where they actually minted puts and calls using our infrastructure, hacking it to create puts and calls that expire and traded on the 0x infrastructure. So that's a 1,000 DAI prize plus 1,000 0x tokens to that team. So thank you.
Seller also had to leave early to catch their flight, which is the perfect timing for me to tell you that if you are trying to take the shuttle back to the airport, the shuttle will be leaving in about 10 minutes. Luckily, we'll end within 10 minutes, hopefully. We'll probably do that. But I do have the winners for the Seller Prize, and these are teams Shooter, State Weaver, and Flip. We'll connect you directly with Seller over email, and congrats to all three of you. Next up, we have JD from Matic.
Hello, my name is Jayanti Kanani and I'm from Matic. We have two winners for Matic APIs. First one is Matic Torrent. He's a solo guy. He built incentivized torrent, and when seeders get tokens based on the data they seed, they use Matic to make faster payments on Matic. And while doing it, he found some bugs in Matic SDK, so we are rewarding him 1,500 DAIs. Second one is a Ethereum listener. The team built Ethereum real-time transactions visualizer by using Matic Dagger APIs, and they will get 500 DAIs. Congrats, teams. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. I also have the winners for Chainlink, and these are teams DeFi, DY, Carbon Guilt, and WeatherBet. Next up, we have Ainsley from Enigma. Please welcome Ainsley on stage.
Hi, I'm Ainsley from Enigma. Enigma enables computational privacy for data on Ethereum smart contracts. And we have 3 first-place winners today and 2 second-place winners. Don't ask me how that's possible. Rubber Hose enabled partition storage within secret contracts. So you see something different depending on what password you enter. So the goal here, or the inspiration, is what if you're forced to reveal your password by some bandit? Rubber Hose will show them a fake account with maybe a smaller amount in it. Fondules removes the reveal phase of Cheese Wizard's commit reveal, and this reduces the wait time while you're playing by as much as 50%. UFlow, this one was kind of cool. They use military-grade hardware that goes on your brain to detect whether you are in a flow state, something I've heard programmers like. Then using machine learning inside Enigma, they're able to share whether or not a user's in a flow state with third-party apps without revealing the underlying biometric data. And our 2 runner-up second-place prizes are Lootbox and Enigma Machine Learning, who we also learned a lot from. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Daniel from Coinbase. Please welcome Daniel.
Hello, my name is Daniel. For our API prize, we had 2 separate prizes of 1,000 USDC. So the first one goes to DC Wallet, which adds dead man switch functionality to your wallet so that you can forward your holdings to loved ones in the event of a tragedy. And the second one is Neya, which is the freelancing aggregation platform which used Coinbase Commerce to accept payments for creating listings. So congrats to both teams.
Thanks, Daniel. I have the winners for the Trust Token Award, and these are teams DeFi Custody and ETH P2P VoIP. We'll connect you over email, and congrats to both of you. Next up, we have Yaniv from The Graph. Please welcome me on stage.
Hi, I'm Yaniv. Great job to all the teams hacking this weekend. We're giving away 4,000 DAI to 4 projects who built on the graph. So all these teams built subgraphs to efficiently index data from their Ethereum contracts and query it into their applications. Just a few weeks ago, some of you might have seen that we published the specs for our decentralized network. It's on our blog that we're going to be releasing next year, so please check that out. It's going to be really exciting to have a decentralized way of querying all of this data so you don't have to rely on any centralized servers or infrastructure. So the 4 projects that won the prizes from the graph this weekend are DigiCert, DeFi DY, God's Unchained Subgraph, and Options. So thanks so much to all the teams.
Thanks. Next up, we have Alex from Diffuse. Please welcome Alex on stage.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Alex, CTO at Diffuse, and I'll be announcing 3 winners here on stage for the 2 1,000 DAI prizes in no particular order there. We've got Connection for their on-chain messaging app that we've seen that built the most reactive messaging because they were feeding from Diffuse. And then second here, or first, is Etheroom for their great NFT-based community management sort of platform and tools that are listening for things happening and the authorization on Diffuse. That was really nice. And the grand prize of 2,000 DAI goes to ETHRhythm, who have integrated brilliantly our platform into their application and streams all the mempool and creates music out of it. So people who are sending their transaction, they select notes, and they did that brilliantly because they also create chords. They have a series of the mempool, high notes, high pitch, high price of Ether, and you can filter with your account to see what sort of music that you create when you go on chain. And I promise you, you'll never send transactions the same way again. So I thank you for all the submissions and for the amazing feedback, and really felt welcome. This was the first event here as a sponsor, and we had all a great time because of all of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Elijah from Taurus.
Right, good afternoon. So I'm Elisha from Taurus, and we facilitate mainstream adoption by letting users log on to your dApps with Google, Facebook, Reddit, and other social logins. So they also can send ETH tokens or collectibles to Google emails, Reddit usernames, or Discord IDs. And at this hackathon, we've seen a lot of projects integrate with Taurus, and they've used our features amazingly, and we really love them a lot. So without further ado, I'm going to announce 6 API prize winners who win 500 Canadian dollars worth of ETH. They are Influencers, DigiCert, Etheroom, Cortex, Sheetcoin, and Mindbusker. And for the grand prize of Canadian 1,500 worth of ETH is Crypto Brawl. So they let you battle your collectibles, NFTs, in a Pokemon-ish style. So that's really cool. So please give all the prize winners a round of applause.
Next up, we have Brantley from ENS. Please welcome Brantley on stage.
All right, thank you. Great. So we had our prizes was $200 US in Ether to each of the 5 best projects to integrate ENS, and we had some great projects. They are Fliff, Connection, DC Wallet, and I need your ENS name, DC Wallet, to send you your prize. I forgot to ask you for that, so please come to me afterwards. Cypher Babies and Cortex. Cortex, I need your photo. I forgot to take that, so if you could come up here afterwards, I'll take your photo. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up, Arnaud from Aztec. Please welcome him on stage.
Hello, hello. I've been told to keep it quick, so I'm going to keep it quick. I'm Arnaud from Aztec. We're a privacy protocol on mainnet. We're launching in December, and we had a great time last night helping a team integrate Aztec into their decentralized platform to incentivize good PRs on GitHub. It's the team CodeGem who are winning the best use of Aztec at ETHWaterloo. Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Daniel from MetaMask.
Hey, I'm with the MetaMask team, here to award prizes for the best MetaMask Snaps plugin. So first prize goes to a DC wallet for their smart contract integration. Second goes to Connection for their messaging system. And we have an honorable mention to Carbon Guilt for their innovative usage that, what do they do? That's what they do. Thank you.
Next up, we have Ben from Peppo. Please welcome Ben on stage.
Hi. It was a great ETHWaterloo. Good to be here. We don't have a slide, but from Peppo, we wanted to emphasize UX awards, and so we didn't put a technical constraint, even though we'd recommend you to check out our stack. That's open, but we have 3 prizes. One, best overall UX prize for $2,000, and 2 runner-ups for $1,500. And best UX for us really as it solves. So UX, we feel, needs to solve a problem for the user, and that's the criteria that we try to look for. And Wallet Notify really stood out for us there. And then in no specific order, Connection did an awesome job also broadcasting, and also a special shout out to, so as runner-up prize, Carbon Guilt, and I'll follow up for Dan. They use the MetaMask plugin to track your gas usage across your Ethereum transactions so that you could then offset your carbon footprint by paying to donations. So we really like that as well. Thanks.
Thank you. And last but not the least, Elon from DHack.
Hey guys, I'm Elon from DHack. DHack is, I wish I could tell you who we picked to be the winners, but we haven't picked them. You guys are picking them. DHack is essentially a decentralized hackathon and continuity fund. And what does that mean? It's a decentralized hackathon because you guys decide who will actually win the prizes. And it's a continuity fund because we want you guys to fund teams who have finished building here in the hackathon and want to continue and take whatever they built into production and want to receive more funds. So basically the DAO holds over $6,000 in ETH because the price of ETH went up, which is good. And you guys will decide how to distribute it. I urge you now to go to dhack.io and redeem your reputation. Once the DAO opens, which is tomorrow at noon, you won't be able to redeem your reputation anymore and participate. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to chat with us on the DHack Discord channel. And yeah, good luck to whoever wins, and I hope you guys make the right choices. And last thing is I want to thank ETHGlobal for letting us experiment and run this thing for the 3rd iteration. So yeah, give it up to ETHGlobal, I guess.
Thanks, Elon. So it's 4 o'clock. Looks like I couldn't wrap this up at 4. However, I'm going to try to finish all of this in the next 5 minutes. And to make that easy for me, we're going to just be in a clapping mode because I got to thank a lot of people now. So I'll just say things as fast as I can, and we'll just keep clapping. So those were our winners. We have our amazing sponsors: Scale, Fortmatic, Thundercore, Cosmos, New Cipher, Consensus, UMA, Seller, Rivet, DNA, Crawlcat, Maker, Offchain Labs, Chainlink, Brave, Aave, Orchid, Enigma, 0x, Trust Token, Graph, Diffuse, Peppo, Moibit, Coinbase, Zabo, Texa, Taurus, Gowlink, Provable, ENS, Aztec, ETC Co-op, Coda, NRCs and Partners, Ethereum Foundation, Scale, ENS, 0x, Taurus, Consensus, Thundercore, UNICEF, Offchain Labs, New Cipher, Matic, Bounties, and Provable. You guys are awesome. So, quick updates on the rest of the things, which is the people that made this happen. We actually piloted our mentorship program for the first time through an official sort of ticketing system, and I'm proud to announce that we had over 50 people use this help, and not only that, we actually have some amazing stats on this. On average, 8 minutes was the time it took for somebody to claim a ticket, And it took about 25 minutes to resolve it. So people actually got a lot of help, and we're super excited to be able to expand this thing and actually improve from this. And with that, I want to thank all of our mentors who were there this entire weekend, anywhere from being available at 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. and helping people as they were panicking before submissions. So please thank all of our mentors who made this possible. And a special thanks to the ChainSafe team for managing that process as well as making everything work. On top of that, as you notice, that this is heavily operated with the help of volunteers. These are some of our amazing volunteers that were here this entire weekend taking shifts, making sure that all of you are happy. And without this would not have been possible. And on top of that, these events go on for months. The kind of the things you see is just 2 days, but it takes us months to make this happen. And there's a special team that has been working with us. So I want to thank specifically Nabil, Dragos, Andrea, Gregory, Aiden, Paul, and Suzanne, who were part of the CG, ChainSafe, and the local Kitchener-Waterloo community for kind of spending the last few months with us to make sure that you have an amazing experience here. And without you, this would not be possible. So thank you so much. And on top of that, we have our amazing judges who saw all these amazing demos, the staff at the building, the photographers who've been here, the videographers, the AV crew, the caterers, everybody who's been here to make and record and make this an amazing experience for all of you. Please give them a big round of applause. We really appreciate this thing. And lastly, I don't get to do this thing enough. This is the ETHGlobal team. This is our last event for 2019, and these amazing 5 other people have been spending all their time and energy and their dedication to making all these events amazing for all of us has been incredible. So I want to thank Jacob, Andrew, Heather, Liam, and Josh from the ETHGlobal side. If you see them, give them a high five. Make sure that they know that their work is amazing. And lastly, CG for letting us use this venue. This has been an incredible venue for all of us, and I want to thank them and also you for keeping it clean. So thank you so much. And our friends at ETH Denver. ETH Denver just opened up 2 hours ago their applications. So if you want to attend ETH Denver on February 14th, be sure to go to ethdenver.com and apply for the next hackathon. Woo! So the finalists. So we've got 5 teams presenting on stage, and the question is, why were they calling them finalists? What did they actually win, or what about the winners? If you haven't been to an ETHGlobal event before, the interesting thing about this is that this is not a competition. We don't do first, second, third here. We want to make sure that this is about building and keeping that as the environment to work with, and the 5 teams that presented on stage are our winners. Each of them are ranked the same way, and what they're going to win is actually 750 ETH, or, oh, no. dollars worth of ETH or DAI per team member, and on top of all the API prizes. So this is our these are our finalists. And congratulations to all 5 of you, all 5 teams, and we'll get in touch over email. And on top of that, there's going to be a special podcast of Into the Ether with all the finalist teams, and we'll also connect you with Eric on over email, and we'll be kind of scheduling this for this coming week. So all of you will have an opportunity to talk about not only what your project is, the inspiration around it, but also your experience so far at these events. So congratulations to all 5 winners, the teams. And this is my final 2 minutes, and then I'll shut up. So ETHGlobal, this is our last event, as you've been talking about. This kind of wraps up 2019 for us, and a lot of people came up to me and the rest of the team asking about what's going on in 2020. So what I kind of want to say is that we're figuring that out right now. So we'll be as honest as possible on that one. But what we're going to do is there'll still be 6 more events, and this will be a combination of returning favorites and some new cities that we want to go to. And we're going to spend the next few weeks finalizing all of that and announcing that on Twitter and our website and everything else. If you want to actually be the first to find out what the next events are, just go to ethglobal.co and just sign up on the mailing list so you are the first person to get that email. So stay tuned on that one. However, this wouldn't be an ETHGlobal event if we don't announce one more thing. It's been 2 years, 14 events for all of us, and we kind of look at this, and we've kind of gone to different cities. We made it so that we can give opportunity to all the developer communities that are out there that's outside from where we're all located. And you have all continents, all cities, all big hubs, and to us, this is what makes it global. But the problem is, for every 100 people that want to come to an event, there's thousands that are not able to, anywhere from financial constraints to not being able to come to a nearby city, or just in general, they're not able to kind of dedicate that time or a weekend. And these are actual burdens that we hear about in our support emails and when we talk to people, and also when we're deciding what city to go to. There's only 12 months and a lot more cities. So we wanted to do something big for next year, and we're still figuring out what it is, but I want to be the first to share with you that we're actually going to be piloting an online hackathon, and we're going to call it ETH Online, and this will be specifically on DeFi, and we're just announcing this online right now, and you can go to ETHGlobal.online and sign up to be the first one to be involved with this. We think this is an incredible way for us to offer this to a lot more people, and as we decide on how 2020 shapes us, the theme we're going to stick to is how do we get millions of more people into this ecosystem. So with that, dream big, keep hacking on your projects. There's a lot more to do in this ecosystem and building this together. And we're going to all go to Chainsaw. That's a 5-minute walk from here and celebrate. So thank you so much for making ETH Waterloo happen. Congratulations.